there, dear Spellweaver community, and welcome back to a new episode of Spellweaver Ranked. Yeah, if you remember, I think it was about a month ago or so. By the way, by the time this video drops, but I think I already mentioned this in the update, that for me at this point is still in the future, however. This one is still gonna be played before the card release on September? Do we have September? Currently we have September, apparently. Yeah, this one is before the new surge of cards got released, so definitely keep that in mind. We have played Elves, I think about, or yeah, well, it should be about a month ago. And there was one particular guy in the comment section called Koman. Kind of like Conan, which is definitely a cool guy. However, Koman posted a comment under the Elves video. I'm just gonna narrate this actually, and he said, "The Elves in Spellweaver don't really suck." Well, that's up for debate, I think. Not really, I think they are still pretty horrible. You're just using a pretty horrible build. Summon a Druid with basic Neva is actually one of the worst cards in the deck. I wouldn't say that because, now well, I mean, yeah, you have to exhaust him, so I don't think you can actually like play him, put him on the front line, use his ability, play another card, and then go for basic Neon with him as well. I don't think that's how it works, but I'm not too sure. Never done that, obviously, because there is still one energy left. However, he also stated when you play the Neva 2.0 decks, it is good because you can draw your cards earlier with the hero power. Here I'll replace it with so and so and so. Yeah, he also mentioned, by the way, 4 times Brothers in Arms, and when I did the deck tag last time, I think I actually also mentioned it, that it is kind of weird that in the deck list that I've used, that Brothers in Arms was excluded, but they still threw in the Grove Guardian, which is kind of weird. Is he called like that? I think it is. The one that grows whenever there are elves entering the board. While Brothers is pretty bad in terms of sticking to the board, you can use them with your hero power for 4/4 worth of Swift stats and for +2/+2 on Grove Guardian from a single creature, definitely. I would make some more changes too, but I need to get to sleep soon, so I'll leave the elf list I used to climb to 1,350 rating points. I didn't try to climb with them afterwards anymore. So yeah, the guy left me a little list with elves and insisted that elves aren't as bad, so we're gonna use his deck and see if it actually holds weight. So this is Koman's personal list. I don't know if he actually got it from somewhere and then adjusted it, or if it's entirely his, not too sure. By the way, the last time we used elves, of course, I got that from Spellweaver DB, which is basically the only source for us Spellweaver players where we actually get to check out meta decks. However, yeah, there's the thing, like Vanguard X posts most of the decks, and while he is a pro player, you can't trust one or multiple pro players with every deck that they come up with, because yeah, they have got more. Like, also for me, you know, they obviously have way more Masters titles in their resume than I do. My resume would be 0, obviously. Which is not surprisingly if you look at how I play the game, actually. But, yeah, they might have more Masters titles in their resume, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they did so by the decks that they posted. So I don't really think, like, Vanguard X actually got his Masters titles by playing Elves. I'm pretty sure no one did, actually, because, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna see. Maybe we're gonna tumble down the ladder a little bit more, or maybe we actually climb up a little bit. You know, still hold out hope, even though I got a pretty bad feeling about this because it's Elves. But Koman's list obviously consists of a basic Neva. We know that from the last time we played Elves. A pretty good hero ability, actually. All creatures you play this turn are swift until end of turn. I actually used to make a Nature Rage list, by the way, with Massive Assault, and I won 1 game against an enemy after like 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think, because I got like Massive Assault. I think it was Massive Assault, Grove Guardian, and actually 4. Yeah, I think it was about like 4 Brothers in Arms, and then I just swung in for like 20 face damage right off the bat, which was pretty damn awesome. But we have 4 times Grove Guardian, obviously one of the best cards for elves. Whenever another elf enters the field under your control, Grove Guardian gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Basically, you can play this at turn 1, even if you don't go second, and you don't need to spark in for it, obviously. Elf Scout 4 times, the only 4 speed creature in the game. aside from buffed up Prinha, obviously with 3 aspects. It's a vanilla 4-speed 1/1. Also can be a level an early drop, a turn 1 drop. Pretty good card there. We have an Elf Warrior, also a vanilla 2/2 3-speed, a little bit more expensive than Elf Scout, but still playable at turn 1 if you go second, obviously. Brothers in Arms, the card that was left out in the deck list last time, which still is weird because Grove Guardian really benefits from it, and yeah, it's easily removed, but still, with hero ability, it's pretty damn good. It's 2 aspects, 2 mana, 2/2, 2 speed. Maybe you see a little bit of a pattern there. When you play Brothers in Arms from your hand, play a copy from your deck without paying its mana cost. Shuffle your deck. When Brothers in Arms dies, they die for real, and you have to sacrifice all other copies, of Brothers in Arms you control. That explains something, because I always thought like the other copies don't count, because I played like 2 copies of Brothers in Arms, because I had like 2 in hand, obviously, so I had like 4 Brothers in Arms in hand, and obviously I used 1 to block another creature, but for some reason it removed all 4 copies of Brothers in Arms, which is a little bit bad. But you know, with hero ability, obviously you can swing in for 4 beats if you play one copy of this off of your hand, which is pretty good. We have Nienna, Legendary Storyteller, obviously 3 copies of this since it's a legendary. Also a pretty good card, especially in conjunction with... Oh, never mind, we don't have... Huh. I mean, I played with this deck obviously a little bit, but... Okay, he doesn't have Summoner Druid in here, which kind of sucks. But yeah, with Summoner Druid, it's even more awesome. But Nienna, Legendary Storyteller, is a 2 aspect, 2 mana, 3/0 speed support. That's a mouthful. And play with the top card of your deck revealed. If it is an elf, you may play that card as though it were in your hand. Basically a little bit like Burning Rage. Yes, always... You know, I have problems with Molten Passageway and Burning Rage, but Burning Rage, where you take 2 damage, but you play with the top card of your deck revealed, and if it is a spell, you play it at the end of your turn. A little bit like that, but obviously a little bit more light-hearted, because you don't have to pay HP. You still have to pay the mana cost, however. But yeah, the enemy can sort of play around, because he also sees your the top card of your deck. But you can also, you know, manipulate top deck, like DOing if you want like an elf on top of the deck. Pretty damn good. It's pretty fun. Then we have 4 Elf Trackers, a card that I absolutely love and really deadly if you play this with hero ability. It's a 3-speed, which is always good, 1/1 ranged. And when Elf Tracker enters the field, put a target emblem on an enemy creature. When Elf Tracker deals combat damage to a creature with a target emblem, destroy that creature. Basically deadly if the enemy hero... if the enemy creature has a target emblem on itself, and you know it's ranged, so that's pretty good. And I don't see any other, or I don't recall any other creature actually in the current meta that is ranged. So we always have an advantage in that sense. After the target emblem is removed, it's not really that good anymore, but still doable. We have 4 Elvish champions, one of the best additions to Elves, obviously. Comes in as a 3/2 for 2 aspects, 2 mana, and has 2 play boosts. Number 1, Swift if you control 3 or more other creatures, basically a bonus if you are ahead. And it gets a Might Emblem if the enemy hero controls 3 or more creatures, basically the play boost when the enemy is ahead and you need to get back into the game. Definitely helps you out there. We have 3 Elf Commanders, by the way. In his deck list, he mentions that this is optional. Elf Commander can be swapped out maybe for a Summoner Druid, but you know, I've played with him so far, and I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna leave him in, even though you don't really see him play and he's not that good, I would say. But he's unblockable, which is good. 3 speed, 3/2, so solid body, and you can exhaust him and make another elf you control unblockable until end of turn, which can come in handy. We have an Haldiri Rider. Basically for this one with Elf Commander, it's pretty good. It's Swift, 2/3, 3 speed, 2 aspects, 4 mana. And yeah, Swift, and aside from that, obviously it's a vanilla creature. Little bit weak. That's why we only have 2 copies in here. And the reason why I really love this list is because of this beautiful fella right here, the Master Hunter. I absolutely love this card because of the fact that it has ranged. or reach. Sorry, reach, of course. Range is also pretty good, of course. And it's a 1/2, 3 speed, 2 aspects, 4 mana. Great against aggro, obviously, because of the 2 damage and the 3 speed. But the cool thing about this is it's also Valor +2. So you can distribute 2 Might Emblems on your creatures when he enters the field. And allied creatures with Might Emblems have reach, which means they are free to attack the support line, which is pretty damn awesome. As for spells, you know, it's elves, so we don't really run that much spells, and because, you know, spells in nature are pretty much garbage compared to any other aspect in the game. However, Ambush Strike is pretty damn good because it's dirt cheap, and an allied creature gets +2/+2, and it is an instant spell. So you don't always have to respect the touch, but you always have to respect the Ambush Strike whenever you play against nature, that's for sure. You can easily bait people with this. We have 3 Tornado Outbreaks, which is not that good, because, you know, if we run against Mono Corruption, and the enemy plays a Sexybus, and we Tornado Outbreak it, he benefits from it. If the enemy plays a Messation Phoenix, and we Tornado Outbreak it with 0 energy, obviously the enemy has a benefit off of that, and of course also with Battle-Scarred Elder, with Bark Convoy. There are really many stuff that people, when you use Tornado Outbreak on a specific creature, that they actually benefit from it, which is why I really fucking don't like this at all, but it's one of the removal spells that we have in nature, so might as well throw it in. 1 aspect, 2 mana, and return a creature to its owner's hand. As far as shrines, we have 1 valley, obviously. Actually, I'm considering actually putting 2 in, but since we run mono nature, a mono color deck, I don't think that we need to DO that much. For shrines, we have 15 nature shrines. We have 1 Moonlight Monument, which is a little bit weird, but, you know, because usually what we use is Fleeting Mirage, Enchanted Spring, but the problem is we don't have really that many creatures. I mean, of course, Elf Tracker would benefit off of it. I don't think Brothers in Arms actually benefit off of it. You only get 1 copy back in your hand, and not both, obviously. Who else? Master Hunter would benefit off it, but that's pretty much it. It's like 1, maybe Elvish Champ. Nah, not really. But Master Hunter and Elf Tracker are really the only ones that would benefit from it, so yeah. So we have Moonlight Monument. The next time you play a level 1 creature this turn, another allied creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And of course the Elven Sanctuary, an elf gets +1/+1 until end of turn. By the way, this one is only 1 nature aspect and 1 mana, and Moonlight Monument is also only 1 mana, 2 round cooldown, and Elven Sanctuary a 3 round cooldown. So +1/+1 for a level 1 creature, and level 1 creature is obviously Grove Guardian. It's an Elf Scout, Elf Warrior, Niana. No, Niana isn't. Never mind. So yeah, for Grove Guardian, Elf Scout, and Elf Warrior are all our 1 level creatures. So we can lose Moonlight Monument, play one of these creatures, and give +1/+1 to a creature. Obviously, that's to get more beats in in conjunction with hero ability, and then of course also with Elven Sanctuary. The only problem, by the way, with this kind of rush deck archetype is obviously if we don't have any kind of card draw, and if the enemy plays like a control-based deck, it's never a good time, because I'm pretty sure you all also played Rage Rush, and you got absolutely destroyed at 1 instance by a control deck. And if you don't have any cards, if you don't have any means to get card draws, and you only have like three cards in hand in the mid game, I mean, mid game it's over for rush decks because, you know, you have to win the game early on. But if you only have 3 cards in hand in the mid game, then it's pretty hard to come back, especially if 3 of these cards are actually shrines. But yeah, we're gonna see how this fares. Obviously, for elves, you've seen it, we have like 4 and 3 speed creatures mostly, so we definitely have the speed advantage. So we're gonna have to see how this deck actually fares. Currently, we are ranked 182 with a rating of 1083. Let's see. By the way, I also played Spellweaver ranked with knights, but I decided to delete the footage because it was pretty damn terrible. Aside from that, that's our current ranking and rating, so let's see how it goes in game number 1. And this is always the game that we find by just simply clicking the start game button, which is weird because the second and third game take a long time usually. Histhawara is our first enemy. Can't keep it. And we have a little bit of an advantage. It's a basic... Oh, it's milling. It's basic Nefaris, and I just saw how many cards this guy has, so it could be milling. But basic Nefaris usually means zombies, and we have an advantage in terms of speed. So that's gonna be interesting to see. However, yeah, as I've stated, it's probably like milling. And if it's Azaris milling, even though she got nerfed, not gonna be a good time, I think. So let's get Grove Guardian out right away. He can remove it if he wants to. Doesn't really matter that much. And I'm definitely gonna go for Moonlight Monument, and then Nature Shrine, go for Brothers in Arms. Maybe we even get like an Elf Warrior or something, Elf Scout maybe. A little bit of a buff for our Grove Guardian as well. Elf Scout would be pretty good because we could activate Moonlight Monument. Sadly we don't get it, so... And we only have one copy of these, so... Might as well just go and face. And wait, he did go first. Did he miss the O or something? Because there's only one shrine in there, which is kind of weird. We could Ambush Strike. Or Tornado Outbreak, which... Both of these decisions sound terrible. But yeah, I think he... Like, missed the O or missed a turn or something, because... Yeah, he didn't play a shrine. Okay, there we go. That might be Obnoxious Fumes. Or not. Okay, and it's not an instant spell, so we're good on that. So let's go for Brothers in Arms. And there we have the beautiful synergy with Grove Guardian. Could have waited one more turn to actually go in for 7 beats overall, because he might just Obnoxious Fumes one of them on his turn and then get these 2 removed. But yeah, apparently he's somehow related to Staalyard, because it takes a long time for his turn every time. But you know, no hard feelings obviously. We can deal with this. So 2 aspects could spark. Uses okay. Kinda saw that coming. Yeah, I should have waited one more turn, actually. Since he doesn't have any creatures out, it wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't have hurt. Next turn could be... maybe we should have splashed in Venerated Unicorn instead of that unblockable elf. Because that might... He might put down tombs. But I guess it's an Haldiri Rider next turn. Yeah, the 2 HP from Haldiri Rider is actually pretty damn terrible because... yeah, we can't really block zombies that way. It just dies, even though it has 3 HP. That's kinda... It's kinda shitty. But you know, we have Ambush Strike, so there's that. Okay. That's the thing, Tornado Outbreak, he also benefits from that now. Okay, Brothers in Arms. That's 2 mana, that's 1. That's also 1. So maybe I can even still have them on the board. Yeah, I don't want to play Haldiri Rider now because... Now well, he can't block with this since it's only 2 speed. But I'm just gonna use Brothers in Arms, go Swift, and then prepare that Ambush Strike. He's obviously gonna block one of them. Because you can't just let 7 damage go through. There we go. This is gonna survive, however. Alright. Took the bait. As I've stated. Respect the Ambush Strike. And there is tombs, which doesn't matter that much because, you know, it's 1 speed, so why should I care, right? Another ambush strike. Wait, this one, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we won. Yes. There we go. Okay, that was pretty damn easy, I gotta say. Alright, first win for Elves. List by Koman again. So, thanks for the plus 12 rating change right there. With a rank of 1095, we start off strong, but... Whoops. What? Oh, yeah, okay. We start off strong, but, you know, long behold, that was only the first game and we have 2 more to go through. So, let's not celebrate too early. However, that was pretty damn good. And let's see how it goes, however, in game number 2.